that Diana, Princess of Wales, has in fact been killed in that car accident.
Interesting. Sounds rather sort of bizarre, but I did go to Diana's coffin the day after I'd written.
The world watched in collective sorrow as Princess Diana was laid to rest on September 6, 1997, a funeral that drew over 2 billion viewers, marking one of the most profound expressions of grief in modern memory. Her final journey ended on a small, serene island in the middle of a lake at Althorp, the Spencer family estate. For nearly 3 decades, the grave remained untouched, a secluded sanctuary for the people's princess, surrounded by water and only accessible to her closest relatives. It was a place designed for privacy and reflection, yet that long-standing peace has now been disrupted. What I'm about to reveal concerns information the Spencer family had intended to keep private for generations. This secret, buried as deeply as Diana herself, has finally emerged. For decades, it was meant to remain hidden, but some truths refuse to stay buried. Diana's tomb has been opened, and what was found inside left everyone present in shock. This was not due to any damage, structural failure, or dark conspiracy theories. The true surprise came from what Diana had left behind. She had arranged for items to be buried with her, carefully selected messages meant to be discovered only when her grave was opened. These communications, intended for the future, are transforming our understanding of her final days. I must proceed cautiously because the Spencer family never gave permission to share this information publicly. However, some who were present have spoken, and the story has leaked. The revelations are far too important to ignore. It seems Diana had a sense that her life might be cut short. While she could not have known the exact timing, she prepared for the eventuality with foresight and meticulous care. This is a story that was never meant to be told, yet it demands attention. We are about to uncover why her tomb was opened, what was found inside, and why her final messages are sending shockwaves throughout the royal family and the world. For almost 30 years, Diana's grave remained sealed. The small island at Althorp, accessible only by boat, was a private refuge. Family members would occasionally visit to pay respects, but the grave itself was never disturbed. So why, after 27 years, did the family decide to open it? The official explanation centers on structural concerns. The burial site, located on an island in a decorative lake, is exposed to natural elements. Over time, water infiltration could compromise the tomb's stability, raising concerns about preservation. Diana's brother, Earl Spencer, commissioned an engineering survey a few years ago. While the findings did not indicate an immediate threat, they were serious enough to warrant action. Unlike most royal or aristocratic graves, which are typically situated in churches or historic cemeteries, Diana's resting place was unique and symbolic. An island tomb surrounded by water. While beautiful, it raised questions about long-term durability and safety. The timing also carries legal significance. Regulations in Britain regarding private burials are complex, and certain requirements may be triggered after specific time intervals. The 27-year mark could have made it necessary to inspect and document the condition of the grave. Beyond legal and structural concerns, William and Harry reportedly wanted to verify that their mother's resting place was intact and secure. They needed reassurance that she was truly at peace and that the passage of time had not damaged what was intended to last forever. The decision was made to open the tomb. A small, specialized team was assembled to manage the operation. Security was tight, and secrecy was paramount. On a quiet day, when the press was kept unaware until later, Diana's tomb was accessed for the first time since her burial in 1997. The team approached the operation with painstaking care. This was no rushed endeavor. Experts in preservation, engineering, and funeral services collaborated to ensure that every step was executed with precision. They arrived at Althorp before dawn, and the estate was closed to visitors. Most staff members were kept away to maintain secrecy, leaving only a select few informed. Earl Spencer was present, and William reportedly arrived later, though some accounts suggest he may have observed only part of the process. Harry's attendance is uncertain, though sources indicate he was kept informed and may have participated via video link from California. Opening the tomb required several hours of meticulous work. Engineers documented every step, while photographers captured the process for historical record. When the burial chamber was finally revealed, the room fell silent. The moment was heavy with emotion, not sorrow, an intense, reverent awareness of witnessing Diana's resting place for the first time in decades. The feared damage from water turned out to be far less serious than anticipated. Diana's casket remained intact, and the environment inside had been maintained appropriately. Yet the most astonishing discoveries were still to come. Inside the chamber, the team found objects that had never been listed in the official funeral records. These items had been placed there secretly, either during the original burial or afterward, under Diana's direction. No one outside a few trusted individuals had known about them for 27 years. This was more than an engineering survey. It became a deeply significant revelation. The family needed to decide how to proceed, and Earl Spencer requested that all non-immediate family members step back. What happened next unfolded privately, yet those who emerged were visibly moved. It was clear that something extraordinary had been discovered. The original items interred with Diana had been carefully documented. They included photographs of her sons, a rosary gifted by Mother Teresa, who had died the same week, a prayer book, and mementos from her life. However, the newly discovered items were unexpected. Diana had deliberately arranged for these to be included, yet they were never disclosed publicly. Among the most significant of these discoveries were letters, sealed envelopes prepared by Diana before her death, addressed to William, Harry, her brother Charles Spencer, and possibly other key figures whose identities remain confidential. These letters were intended to be opened only when her grave was eventually accessed, revealing her messages decades later. The presence of these letters suggests that Diana anticipated her death and took extraordinary steps to prepare her loved ones for life without her. But the letters were not the only revelations. There were also documents that Diana had wanted preserved, though she could not keep them accessible during her lifetime. While the full contents have not been disclosed, sources indicate they relate to her experiences within the royal family. They may include observations, personal accounts, and records she deemed important for future reference. Personal items were also discovered, objects that held deep meaning for Diana and, in many cases, for the recipients of her letters. These items connected to private moments, intimate relationships, and aspects of her life that the public never knew. Additionally, there was one item that sources are hesitant to describe fully. Its discovery reportedly left those present stunned, even those who thought they knew Diana intimately. The contents of Diana's burial chamber were far more than a princess's final possessions. They were a carefully curated time capsule, a message to the future. Diana spent the final months of her life preparing these items, aware that this might be her last opportunity to communicate with her loved ones. Every letter, every object, every carefully chosen document was a deliberate act intended to endure long after her passing. The letters, in particular, are profoundly important. They were not casual notes. They were serious messages meant to serve as Diana's final words to those she loved most. One letter, addressed to William, focused on his future as king. She wrote about the responsibilities he would inherit, the kind of monarch she hoped he would become, and the mistakes she wanted him to avoid. It was a message of guidance, of hope, and of love, a roadmap from a mother to her son. Harry's letter, sources suggest, carried a more personal tone, filled with insights, reminders, and guidance tailored to him. The documents and items, too, offer glimpses into Diana's life in ways the public never imagined. They reveal her foresight, her thoughtfulness, and her unwavering care for those she held dear. The discovery transforms the tomb from a mere resting place into a living testament to Diana's legacy. Her messages and objects serve as a bridge between past and future, offering wisdom, love, and guidance to her family decades after her death. Every piece found in the burial chamber reflects careful planning, deep reflection, and a desire to maintain influence and connection even beyond the grave. The emotional impact on those present was profound. Immediate family members witnessed the time capsule Diana had prepared. Non-family members were asked to step back, allowing the family to process the weight of these revelations privately. Their reactions, though unseen by the public, conveyed the importance of what had been uncovered. For the royal family, the findings are intimate, deeply personal, and potentially transformative. They provide insight into Diana's experiences, her struggles, and her relationships, painting a fuller picture of a woman often misunderstood by the world. The letters and documents reveal her private voice, her guidance, and her lasting love. Diana's foresight was extraordinary. She understood that life was unpredictable, that her voice could be silenced, and yet she created a way to ensure it endured. The tomb is no longer just a grave. It is a vessel of communication, a meticulously curated legacy intended to guide, comfort, and influence her loved ones long after she was gone. The letters, photographs, rosary, prayer book, documents, and personal mementos, each item was chosen deliberately, each message carefully crafted. Diana left a voice for her children, her family, and those closest to her, ensuring that her presence would persist across time. The tomb is now a bridge across decades, carrying her wisdom, love, and foresight into the future. Princess Diana's tomb has become more than a resting place. It is a monument to her meticulous planning, her thoughtfulness, and her enduring love. The letters found inside are not just simple communications. They are her final words, her messages to guide and protect her children, her brother, and those who mattered most to her. Her foresight, her love, and her care are evident in every item, transforming the tomb into a profound statement of legacy. Even after nearly 30 years, Diana continues to reach across time. Her voice, preserved through letters and objects, offers guidance, insight, and love to those she left behind. The tomb, once a place of quiet repose, is now a powerful testament to a woman who planned for her voice to endure, ensuring her presence, her wisdom, and her love remain with her family forever. The letters Diana left behind are incredibly important. They are not just casual notes, they are serious messages meant to be her last words to the people she loved most. One letter was to William. It focused on his future as king. Diana wrote about the responsibilities he would have and the kind of monarch she hoped he would be. She also mentioned the mistakes she wanted him to avoid. Princess Diana opened her heart in ways the world never fully saw, and her letters reveal just how much she wanted to guide her children through life, even after she was gone. In her message to William, she reflected on her father and their marriage, experiences that had a profound impact on her life. But she didn't write with bitterness or blame. Instead, her words carried a kind of quiet, sad acceptance. She wanted William to understand her past, to learn from it, but ultimately to find his own way. Diana's message was about love, connection, and the importance of staying true to oneself amidst the pressures of royalty. She warned him gently not to repeat the patterns that had trapped her. Sources say she gave specific advice about choosing a partner, recognizing authenticity, and nurturing a marriage that could endure the unique strains of royal life. Her letter wasn't just guidance, it was a roadmap. A mother's hope that her son could navigate challenges with wisdom and empathy. Harry's letter, by contrast, carried raw emotion. Diana understood her younger son's sensitive nature and foresaw how profoundly he would feel her absence. She wrote to reassure him, to encourage him to embrace his individuality and to resist letting traditions and expectations crush his spirit. Her words urged him to find his own path and make decisions true to himself. Whether these messages influenced Harry's choices later in life is impossible to measure exactly, but the similarities are striking. Diana also stressed the importance of remembering one's roots. She wanted Harry to stay connected to ordinary people, to never lose touch with the world beyond palace walls, and to use his position to create meaningful change rather than merely perform for appearances. Every letter reflected her vision for her children as compassionate, grounded individuals. Royalty, yes, but more importantly, human beings with hearts that mattered. The letter to Earl Spencer focused on family legacy. Diana entrusted him with guidance about protecting her memory and ensuring her legacy was preserved with dignity. She made requests regarding how she wanted to be remembered and how her life story, both public and private, should be honored. As for the other letters, their recipients remain undisclosed. These secret correspondences raise questions about Diana's private relationships and the confidences she shared only with a select few. Only Diana and the recipients know their content, and these documents have the potential to reshape historical understanding. Beyond the letters, Her tomb also contains important documents that are not merely emotional goodbyes. They are records Diana chose to preserve. The full details of these documents are still closely held. Sources say they chronicle her experiences within the royal family and reflect her concerns about specific matters that affected her life, her children, and the institution itself. Some documents focus on her marriage, providing insight into not only her feelings but also practical details such as financial arrangements, promises made and broken, and her careful notes on what she was told versus what she observed. Other documents address broader issues within the palace. Diana's observations highlight decisions she disagreed with and behaviours she found troubling. Though she was part of the family, she often felt like an outsider, seeing things from a perspective few others shared. There are also notes about incidents that were misrepresented or covered up at the time. These records could provide alternative perspectives that challenge official narratives. Certain materials document her concerns about personal safety. She recorded conversations, observations, and situations that caused her unease. Her famous letter predicting a fatal car accident is widely known, but these documents may contain additional context explaining why she felt threatened and how she tried to navigate these dangers. Now, the family faces complex decisions regarding these materials. Should they be returned to the tomb, preserved in family archives, or shared selectively with historians and scholars? Opinions differ. William reportedly favours keeping the documents private, protecting both his mother's memory and the institution. Harry, by contrast, supports greater openness, believing that Diana's voice should reach the public. This difference of opinion reflects broader divisions regarding the monarchy and her legacy. Earl Spencer, as head of the Spencer family and steward of Althorp, holds significant influence over these decisions. While he has not spoken publicly about the documents, sources indicate he is cautious about exposing Diana's personal records to further scrutiny or sensationalism. The balance between privacy, historical preservation, and public interest is delicate. The royal family, too, reacted quickly upon learning of the tomb's contents. This was not a simple historical discovery. It could impact living members and shape public perception. King Charles reportedly learned of the tomb's opening within hours. His response, according to sources, was nuanced. On one hand, these materials belonged to his late ex-wife, the mother of his children, and carried emotional weight. On the other hand, he understood the potential impact of her observations, recollections, and criticisms, materials that could confirm what had been said publicly before, potentially affecting his legacy. Camilla's reaction, by contrast, appears to have been guided by concern and caution. Diana's feelings regarding her were well known, and if the documents contained detailed accounts, accusations, or previously denied statements, Camilla could face renewed scrutiny. The palace has reportedly approached Earl Spencer informally to gauge the contents, preparing potential responses. So far, Spencer has declined these requests, asserting that the materials belong to the Spencer family and were discovered at a Spencer-owned site. Legally, the royal family holds no claim. This situation has naturally caused tension. The palace has spent decades managing Diana's image and controlling narratives surrounding her life and legacy. The discovery of her tomb's contents represents a challenge to that control. William, caught in the middle, must navigate his dual role as both protector of his mother's truth and as the future king. His loyalties are split. He seeks to honour Diana's intentions while preserving the dignity and stability of the monarchy. In the coming months and years, discussions between the Spencer family and the palace are likely to continue. Decisions about what to do with Diana's documents, letters, and personal items will shape her legacy and potentially influence historical narratives about her life. Whether some or all of these materials will eventually be made public is uncertain. What is undeniable is the significance of these discoveries. 27 years after her passing, Diana's voice continues to speak through carefully preserved letters and documents. She understood the power of communication and connection, as seen in her iconic interviews and public appearances. Her foresight in leaving these materials reflects her awareness of her influence, her enduring love for her family, and her desire to shape how she would be remembered. The debate over public access is complex. Some argue that Diana intended these messages for the world, a final act of openness, transparency, and insight into royal life. Others maintain that her communications were private, meant only for her family, without exposure to public scrutiny. Both interpretations are valid and reflect the delicate balance between honouring her wishes and the public's enduring fascination. Diana's story remains profoundly relevant. Her life, her choices, and her legacy continue to affect her sons and the monarchy as a whole. Opening her tomb is not an act of disrespect. It is a continuation of her story, a revelation of her foresight and the thought she put into shaping her enduring presence in the lives of those she loved. Society now faces a question. What should be done with her letters and documents? Should they remain private, or should her final messages be shared with the world? Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for updates on this continuing story.